the suicide note I never wrote. I am quite a happy man. After high school, I left the state for university, got a psychology degree, and now I work as a counselor for high school kids. My younger brother, Meg, has a happy marriage and a 2-year-old son. This has caused my mother to turn her attention to me, pressuring me about when I'm going to give her more grandchildren. Life was beautiful, but recently I discovered something that could turn everything upside down. My dad needed help cleaning out the attic. He said it hadn't been done in years. I agreed to help, but my brother couldn't join us because of work. Throughout my entire childhood, I had only been up in the attic a few times, so being there again felt surreal. Every box, chair, and trinket in sight was covered in dust and cobwebs. A few mice scurrying around nearly gave me a heart attack twice. But my dad and I managed to sort out a lot, deciding what was needed and what could be thrown away. My dad went downstairs to the kitchen to have a drink with my mom, while I continued exploring the attic out of curiosity. That's when I noticed something colorful. It was one of my old comic books, just lying on a chair in the corner. I picked it up. Waves of nostalgia rose within me as I admired the front cover, which showed my favorite superhero, Hulk, lifting a car above his head and gritting his teeth. It must have been nearly 15 years since I had last seen that book. I was surprised at how well preserved it was. No mice had touched it. I opened the cover and started flipping through the pages, savoring this small piece of my forgotten past. But as I reached the middle of the book, a single white piece of paper, folded horizontally, slipped out and floated gently to the floor at my feet. To avoid losing my place, I kept my finger on the page I was reading and bent down to pick up the paper. I truly don't know what to make of what was written on it. So maybe one of you can give me some ideas, as I'll share what the note says here. I can't take it anymore. I wish someone could understand what I'm going through, but no one ever will. Mum, I love you so much, and I hate that I'm about to do this to you, but this is my only option. Dad, you did everything you could for Mech and me, but I still have to go. I know by the time you read this, it will be too late. Don't tell my friends the truth about what happened. Don't bury me either. I want to become worm food. Mech, you were the best brother in the world, and know that this isn't your fault. From now on, I'll be singing with the angels and watching over all of you, Darby. After I finished reading, I stared at the note for a long time. I read it over and over again, unsure if it was a joke or not. If it was a cruel and heartless one, and I couldn't imagine anyone I knew being capable of something like that. I looked at the words more closely. My heartbeat pounded in my chest as I considered the possibility that the note might be real. The handwriting looked so much like mine, and it was written in orange ink, my favorite color to use when journaling or writing stories as a teenager. My head was spinning. Could I have written this and buried it deep within my subconscious? I couldn't recall any negative experiences that would have led me to consider taking my own life. And if I had experienced something like that, I was sure the trauma would have resurfaced in various ways over the years. I jumped when a voice at the door startled me, and I turned around. Instinctively, I hid the note behind me. My dad was standing near the attic entrance with a puzzled expression on his face. "Is everything okay?" "Yes, Dad, I'm fine. Thank you. I'm just a little thirsty. I think I'll take a break, too. Could you bring me a glass of water?" "One glass of water coming right up," he replied. But as he walked down the stairs, I could feel his eyes watching me carefully. As soon as he disappeared, I folded the note into a square and slipped it into my pocket. I waited until I finished my water before telling my dad that I had some errands to take care of and would help him finish the attic another time. I went home and immediately compared the handwriting on the note to my own. My handwriting now was much neater, but I could imagine myself as a teenager writing exactly like the note. Then I thought, again, maybe someone had tried to imitate my handwriting, which would explain the small differences between the note and my current writing. After spending hours questioning my childhood, I decided to set it aside for now. Maybe I'd call my brother and ask if he remembered anything traumatic from when we were kids. I lay in bed for hours. Just as I was about to fall asleep, I received a message from my mom. "You found it, didn't you?"